Carpe Sus, my Monday night hunt revealed no hogs, but I got this image from a landowner on a property that I'd hunted Monday night where hogs had rooted up the property. The damage looked pretty significant, although it was over a limited area with limited spots. So on Wednesday night, I headed out there. I set up some decoys that were sprayed with sow and estrus urine. Have two set up about 100 yards apart. The X is where the hog's going to come in later in the night, and there's a ridge here that's going to play havoc with some of the spotting during the course of the evening. I had these animals come in. I initially did not realize what they were. Here's the ridge line that you can see here. And I had to watch these animals for a while before determining what they were. I scanned to see if there are any other potential hogs in the area. They're not. So this isn't a sounder. It's a doe and her fawn. Eventually they came up out of their low spot up on top of the ridge to where the hog decoy was, and the doe has alerted on seeing the hog. The hog itself isn't really apparent. It's not generating any heat of its own, and so it's showing up as white in this image. But the doe sees it, it's painted black, and she sees it and she's stamping her feet. And she approaches more closely and then walks around the hog. I think trying to get the decoy to move to see if it's actually a living animal or something else. This went on for about 5 or 6 minutes before they started to ignore it and then eventually moved on. And after they moved on, this coyote came in and had a very similar reaction. He alerted on the decoy. He can smell it from where he is. He's changing positions to get a better view of what's going on, and this is a two-dimensional decoy. It's just a piece of plywood painted black so that it looks good in silhouette, but from head on, you know, it's a thin piece of plywood. So as the coyote moves and looks at it, he's getting a different perspective, and it's just not looking right. Eventually, this coyote moved off. And a little while later, another coyote came in, and the whole process was repeated. Now, I don't have permission to hunt coyotes on this property, only hogs. So for the time being, all I could do is watch their reactions to the decoys. Eventually, this animal came in. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. It kind of looks like a hog, but I'm not getting a very good view of it. It's down in that low spot behind that low ridge. The body shape looks short and stout, kind of like a hog. The head isn't moving too much. And the ears look pointy and splayed, kind of like you would expect on a hog, but I'm not seeing enough to get a positive identification. I go ahead and nuke the image in order to try to get some improvement on it, but the conditions were just this bad, and that was the best image I was going to get. And of course, so the grass and the ridgeline are coming into play here as well, helping hide part of this animal's body. And as it's coming up the rise, I'm starting to see more features, and it's looking more and more like a hog. And finally, I'm watching how the head is tracking with the body. It's definitely a hog. And so at this point, I'm just waiting for a good shot. Here we go. I waited about another hour. Nothing else showed up, so I went ahead and picked up the hog. It was a 165-pound boar. It was shot with the hog quartered towards me, the shot entering right next to the left eye and the bullet proceeding into the brain cavity from there.
Optics provided by Third Coast Thermal.
Carpe Sus, my friends.